Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. I'm Jackie and I'll be taking your class today. We are going to be talking about posture today. Now, how often have you been told to sit up straight or keep your back straight, all these sorts of things? Well, it's not just about keeping your back straight, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We're going to start off by sitting on our bottoms with our legs crossed. Okay, and we always start with a little bit of breathing in our yoga. So today we're going to do easy breath, okay? So take your hands, rest them on your knees, rest them in between your legs just like that, or you can have them in prayer position, it's up to you, but as long as you're feeling nice and relaxed, okay? Now, while we're sitting here, we're going to imagine that there's a bit of imaginary string pulling up your head so that your spine's nice and long, okay? Your shoulders are relaxed, your jaw's relaxed, and you're feeling pretty good, and your seat bones, you should feel them on your mat there, really nice and even. So you can close your eyes at this point as well, because we're going to start breathing through our nose and trying just to have those really nice deep belly breaths, okay? And this is called easy breath because we're not really doing anything in particular with our breath. We're just keeping it really nice and deep and even. And what we're focusing on is how our posture is at this moment. And posture just means aligning your body and making it easier for your body to operate, basically. It's not just about sitting with a straight back. You should have a nice straight back at the moment, but it's not just about our backs as well. It's about how we walk and stand and everything like that as well. So taking your nice big deep breaths, having a think about your seat bones, your shoulders, your jaw, your back is all straight. So this is what we're focusing on just while we're breathing here, just for a second or two, not long at all. So taking another couple of breaths, that's it. We're just going to open up our eyes. Okay, so posture. What is our posture anyway? Our posture is really just about how all our bones are fitting together and how, you can stand, you can see people standing stooped over sometimes or sitting like this at your desk maybe. Yeah, I think we're all guilty of maybe not having good posture. So it's just, all it is about being aware of what your posture's doing. We don't need to walk about with books in our head and all of these sorts of things. We just need to be aware of it. That's all. And that can take a little bit of practice as well. So yoga is great for this, okay? Yoga is not about, now how many of you, be honest here, how many of you thought yoga was this? Well, it is a bit like that, but or putting your foot behind your head or all these sorts of things, because that's what we all think about yoga. You need to be dead bendy and you need to be doing all these strange things. So it is a wee bit like that, but there's also a large amount of it that's going to really help your posture and lots of other things as well. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So we'll have a little warm up first of all. Okay, we're going to do a yoga pattern. Now what that means is we're going to do a pose, then we're going to add on another pose and another pose, another pose, up to 4 poses. So I'll show you what we're going to do. Let's start in rock pose. So that means on your knees, bum back, head on the floor, top of the hands on the floor as well. Okay, so you're tucked up in a wee ball in rock pose, okay? So staying here, concentrating on your breath. That's it, and feel how nice this feels. It's nice, isn't it? Curling up in a wee ball on the floor. So taking nice deep breaths. And then what we're going to do is come up into tabletop pose. So that means your hands are shoulder width apart, nice straight back, and your knees are hip width apart as well. So rock pose and tabletop pose. Pausing here and then putting your knees together and coming back down to rock pose again. Lovely. So this time we're going to do rock pose here. We're going to come up to tabletop pose here, knees apart, hands apart, okay? And then we're going to come into cow pose, which means popping your tummy towards the floor, lifting your head up, that's it. So you've got a bit of a bend. You can give a moo if you want in cow pose, but then back to tabletop and then back down to rock pose. Okay, you've got the idea, haven't you? That's it. So rock pose, then you know what's coming next, tabletop, make sure those knees are hip width apart, cow pose, and then we're going to do a cat pose. So head comes down and your back curls up to the ceiling, a bit like a scared Halloween cat, that's what it looks like. That's it. And then back to tabletop, and then back to rock pose. Let's do it one more time, okay? So rock pose, tabletop pose, remember to breathe. Then you're going to breathe in, come up to cow pose, nice tummy towards the floor, and then cat pose. Lovely. And then come down to sit again. So our bodies are a little bit warmed up, and you can do that yoga pattern anytime you want. You don't have to wait for yoga class. It's a really nice way to warm up, or to do as a game with your pals as well, actually. And what to do is get them each to add on a pose, not just me. Just get, if there's a group of 5 of you, do 5 poses. Okay, so let's get on with our yoga poses. So we're going to start rock pose, because we know what that is, don't we? So coming down, rock pose. Okay, then up to tabletop, just like we did before. You knew you were practicing for something, didn't you? Up to tabletop. Then we're going to do our cow pose. Cow pose. Then cat pose. That's it. And then back to tabletop. Okay, but now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right foot forward between our hands, okay? And you're going to come up with your hands at your heart into dragon pose, okay? So you'll feel a big stretch in your legs. You can inch this foot forward if you want. Make sure your knee doesn't go in front of your toes, okay? So we are in dragon pose now. Nice straight backs, okay? No toppling over. And then we're going to come into twisting dragon, okay? So what that means is you're all in your dragon poses. You're going to take this left elbow and cross it over like this, okay? So you're in this sort of position in the lunge and twisting to the side, okay? Press your palms together. Lovely. So pausing there for just for a second. Well done. And then coming up to the middle again into dragon pose. Lovely. Coming down into tabletop pose, pausing there for a minute. We're going to do a wee cat-cow while we're here. So, cow first, tummy to the floor, head up. Then exhale, scared Halloween cat pose. That's it. And then coming back to a nice straight back. So, left leg this time. Let's put your left leg between your hands and then come up into prayer position, okay? So, we don't want our knees like this. Don't want that at all. Scoot your foot forward a little bit. That's it. So we want to feel a nice stretch, okay? And while we're here, just let's pause for a little second. How is your posture? How are you nice and aligned? Is your body even? Are you toppling to one side? So try and even it up, okay, as best you can. And then we're going to take that twist. We're going to take the right elbow over to the left-hand side, okay? So even harder to keep stable when you're in a little twist like this, but just let's pause here just for a little second. That's it. So coming back up nice and slow into dragon pose, hands on the floor either side of your foot, and come back to tabletop. So while you're in your tabletop, are you nice and equal? Have you got equal weight on your knees, equal weight in your hands? That's it. Thinking about how nice and straight and aligned your body is, okay? Is it all sort of slumped or anything like that? No lazy tabletop. So let's tuck our toes. We're going to come up to a downward dog. So tuck your toes, pop those bums in the air, okay? Now you can bend your knees like this. Try and get your back nice and straight. Push your chest to the floor. If you can straighten your legs, then that's fine. But it's like an upside down V shape, okay? And then we're going to walk to our hands. Keep your hands on the floor. Don't take your hands off. Keep them there. But keep your knees bent if you need to, okay? So we're going to come up to a ragdoll pose now, okay? So your feet are about hip width apart. Hold on to the inside your elbows. And you're going to hang from your hips. Hanging down. Wiggle your head about. And you should feel pretty loose in your top half here. Wiggle your hips a wee bit. Not too much. We don't want you dancing. That's it. And just hang in there. That's it. And then we're going to slowly roll up, okay, into a mountain pose, okay? So feet together, big toes touching, and your heels are a little bit apart. So stand there really nice and still, because mountains don't move, do they? Nice and still. Shoulders nice and equal. And just looking at the floor in front of you and see how still you can stand. And think to yourself, are my shoulders relaxed? Does the weight on my feet feel pretty even? And all this is tiny wee movements that can make you nice and equal rather than standing with one shoulder higher than the other, or slumped over like this. We don't want any fed up mountain poses. Nice and straight. Lovely. So we're going to do a warrior 1 now. So putting your hands on your hips, you're going to step back with your left foot. Now put the foot down on the mat, okay? So your foot is you're not on your tiptoes, and this front knee is over your ankle, okay? So your hips are pointing over your front knee like headlights, and you're going to bring your hands up into the middle. You can look up at your hands if you want, or look straight ahead, all right? So thinking about how straight your hips are, we don't want any hips twisting to the side, because if we practice this, if we do yoga quite a lot and we keep aligning our hips properly and we keep everything straight, then we'll help our body to be a little bit stronger and a bit better at sports and all this sorts of things as well. That's it. So from warrior 1, we're going to come out to warrior 2. So your arms are going to come out to the side. Now you're turning your hips to the side as well. That's it. And if you want to go a bit wider, just inch that foot forward. Warrior 2. Drop the hips. Feel the nice big stretch. You might want to turn that back foot out a little bit more as well. Nice and straight. Look over that front arm. That's it. Feeling your legs nice and strong. That's it. And then straighten your front leg. Okay, it doesn't need to be totally straight. You can have a wee bend in it. Okay, we're going to do a triangle pose. So you're going to move over your front foot, and then you're going to come down with nice straight arms into a triangle pose. So your legs in a triangle shape. Your left hand's up in the air. Now the back of the right hand is down there. It might be on the floor, or you might be holding on to your calf. But feel that lovely big stretch. Now try and keep a straight body. So rather than folding over like this, keep this shoulder back. So if someone was to look at you from above, you'd be in a nice straight line. Okay, so looking down, we're going to come up nice and strong. Bend that front knee. We're back in warrior 2, aren't we? And then cartwheel your hands down, and we're into a nice low lunge position. Okay, so from here we're going to step up to the front of the mat. So see this back foot here? You're going to step up. That's it, all nice young things. So get up to the front of the mat here and then slowly roll up. And we need to do it all on the other side. So I'll switch round so as that I've not got my back to you. So hands on the hips. This time we're stepping back with the right foot about a leg length apart. You don't need to be doing the splits here, okay? So foot on the floor, all right? And this front knee is bent still, knee over the ankle, and your hips are like the headlights, remember, okay? And you're going to raise your hands up, looking ahead, okay? Shorten your stance as well if you want to, or widen it if you want a bigger stretch. And then we're going to think about our hips and bring our hands down. You might want to put that foot a wee bit to the side and come into warrior 2. Now we're not leaning forward like this. We're up nice and straight, nice and aligned, okay? Hips are to the side, and you're looking along your front arm. Lovely. So from here, you're going to straighten that front leg, not completely, remember you don't have to, and we're going to move out over the front leg and then come in to triangle pose. Remember, if someone was looking from above, are you in a nice straight line? This shoulder here, it shouldn't be down here, it should be way back there. That's it, and you might be holding on to your leg as well in a nice triangle pose. So looking down, come up nice and strong with straight arms and back into warrior 2. Lovely strong warriors. And then cartwheel your hands back down. And then what you're going to do is bring that back knee down and come into a rock pose again. So put your knees together and your head on the floor. And just rest for a wee second in rock pose. Lovely. Wonderful. So from rock pose, we're going to come down onto our backs. Okay. And you're going to put the soles of your feet together and let your knees flop out. Okay. Feel the stretch just in between your leg there. That's it. If that's too much for you, you can just bring your knees back up. That's absolutely fine. And then put your feet hip width apart, and you're just going to drop your knees to either side in a sort of windscreen wipery sort of motion. That's it. Really good for loosening everything up. And now we're going to have a really nice relaxation, okay? And I am going to guide you through that relaxation. So all you need to do is get really nice and comfy. You can lie on your back like this with the tops of your hands on the floor. You can have a blanket, or you can lie on your side or your front as well if you want, and you can have your eyes open or shut, whatever you are comfortable with. If lying down is just too much for you, you just think that's not for me, then you can sit up, as long as you're really, really nice and relaxed. Only as a last resort, sit up, because it's meant to be really, really nice and relaxing for you. And then we'll do our lovely inner mountain relaxation today. So just closing your eyes if you like, and just breathe and rest. As if you're falling asleep, just let go of all your thoughts and just feel your breath. Just everyone settle and sigh and melt. Release any wiggles and movement you've got. And then, with every breath, you're going to become more and more relaxed. Now imagine you're a mountain. Notice everything you can about the mountain, its shape, its height, its colour, its quality. Notice how calm and strong and steady it is. Imagine yourself as the mountain. Let yourself become strong, steady, solid and still. Whatever happens, bad weather or good, friendly hikers up the mountain or not, you, the mountain, stay just the same. Your foundation is rooted deep into the earth and you are unshakable. Trust in your foundation and the strength that comes from being able to be with whatever comes, knowing that it will pass. Just breathe and be. Let everything come and go. You notice the world change, but you don't change with it. Your thoughts and feelings come and go, but you, the mountain, remain the same, seeing, knowing, and being who you are, whole, perfect, and wonderful. Now just gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take any final stretches that feel good to you on your back or your side, and when you're ready, just come back to a comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. So I hope you're all feeling nice and calm and very mountain-like now. So I hope you enjoyed your class and you maybe understand a little bit more about posture and how yoga can help you with that posture as well. And remember, posture is really important when you're playing games, playing football, dancing, any of these things as well. So if you want some homework to do, I know you probably don't, but it's worth a try. In case you want some homework, what you can always do is right after this yoga lesson, you can write down just one pose, it's not big homework, one pose that made you feel strong today, okay? That might not be any, but there might be one pose that you thought, I really liked that one and I really felt super duper strong. So there's some homework if you want to, and it's really good because then you'll remember that pose and you think, I'll do that when I'm needing to feel a bit stronger. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you come back and join me for another class where we'll focus on something else as well. But until then, we'll finish with a namaste. So hands together, sitting nice and straight, and after 3, 1, 2, 3, namaste. Thank you so much. So I will see you again next time, and until then, keep doing lots of yoga and I'll see you later. Bye.